Let's begin with news of a trade on Thursday as the Texas Rangers look to bolster their starting rotation. Jeff Passan, the first to tweet about it. Rangers are acquiring left-hander MacKenzie Gore in a deal with the Nats. It's a 5-for-1 deal with a handful of prospects, including in that haul going to the nation's capital, Gavin Fine, who was the Rangers' #1 pick just this past summer. So he goes to Washington. Alejandro Rosario, a regarded prospect as well. He's going to miss most of this year recovering from Tommy John surgery. But Cliff, clearly the Rangers trying to find a way to bolster this rotation. And MacKenzie Gore, he has certainly pitched at a high level. What do you make of the deal?
When you're talking about getting the spring training and getting everybody, kind of on the same page and you're excited to get to camp, this is what you want to see if you're a Texas Ranger player walking into camp, right? This is exactly what you're looking forward to seeing when you're in a division where it's winnable. And when you think about the Seattle Mariners, they just haven't had the consistency. They've had the pitchers, but this is a guy that gives you the durability you're looking for, a guy that's excited to now get to camp, leave a situation in Washington where he learned how to be a big leaguer, but it's time to take his game to the next level. This ball right here speaks to that. And when you look at the first 15 by split,
it started great.
It was starting great, but I think when everything started to happen with the turmoil and the managers getting fired and a lot going on, I think it kind of just takes the fire out of you.
Yeah.
Right? So you're looking forward to the positive as you head into seasons, and I think this is a huge one for MacKenzie Gore and the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, MacKenzie Gore pitched to over a 6 in the second half of the season. He's obviously better than that.
Way better.
But for the Washington Nationals, I mentioned Gavin Fine going over. He was the #1 draft pick just for the Texas Rangers. What do you make of this move from the Nats' perspective?
Well, I think when you think about rebuild, this is how you do it, right? You get 5 prospects back to sort of put you in a position where you can start having some competitions in spring training, have some guys, kind of get the mojo back, get the feel of we're not going to stay in this rebuild for long. We want to turn, the turnover to be quick. And how do you do it? You get the best you can get back for guys that you have leaving your organization. MacKenzie Gore is going to get you the return that you're looking for. They got what they was looking for. They got overwhelmed. This is a real nice return for the Nationals. As you have guys there, C.J. Abrams, James, you have some guys that in my opinion, I thought if you had MacKenzie Gore, you're not fighting in NL East because now it's gotten better.
Right.
But you're a team that's, on the cusp of getting, or causing havoc, right? The Marlins started somewhere, had a nice little season down there in Miami. I thought the Nationals was on that track, but if you want to rebuild, you go all in like this.
I think what's interesting is, well, first of all, MacKenzie Gore has 2 more years of club control before he hits free agency, and he now slots into what on paper looks like a very formidable rotation. DeGrom and Eovaldi at the top, then MacKenzie Gore.
Right.
Jack Leiter could be poised for a big breakout season in 2026. And I don't think we've seen the best of Kumar Rocker. So this is very interesting that what the Rangers are potentially building.
So, Robert, when I look at these rosters, when I look at innings, when I look at arms, you can never have enough, right? So that for me speaks to why you go out there and make this move for a guy who's durable. Makes this move for a guy who's going to give you the innings because you don't know what you're going to get from Jacob DeGrom. Yes, we've seen him go out there and be healthy, pretty much 2025. And I think he put himself in a position where he has to feel good heading to this, to this season. Nathan Eovaldi has logged a lot of innings. So MacKenzie Gore gives Jack Leiter, it gives Rocker, it gives these other cats a little bit of a chance to get their feet up under them and feel good about where they are. Because if you have 6 guys going into spring training, maybe possibly 7, 8, it allows you to sort of feel a little bit better.
Let's welcome in Evan Grant. He covers the Texas Rangers for the Dallas Morning News. Evan, the Rangers landed an ace this afternoon in MacKenzie Gore. How did this deal come together?
Listen, Robert, I think the Rangers have been trying to check the market as often as they can. They knew that they needed more pitching. And I think in Washington, they found a team that wanted a big price for MacKenzie Gore, but there was a matchup there. This is a case where the Rangers are giving away 5 of their top 20 prospects according to MLB Pipeline. system is not that deep at this point in time, and to get a guy like MacKenzie Gore to go with Nathan Eovaldi and Jacob deGrom at the top of that rotation, and to be able to slide Jack Leiter into the number 4 spot, it makes this Rangers rotation significantly better than it was 24 hours ago.
You mentioned the prospect haul going back to the Washington Nationals. That includes the Rangers' #1 pick from just last summer, Gavin Feen. What do you make of the return that the Nats are getting?
Well, listen, it's a big return. Gavin Feen and Devin Fitzgerald, the infielder, were the 2 guys that the Washington Nationals absolutely had to have. I think some Nationals folks had real desire for Feen going back to time in Boston. You add in Alejandro Rosario, the pitcher who's been injured and been dealing with health issues, but this is a guy with significant talent who could really be a top-tier starter if he gets healthy again. And then you've got Abimelec Ortiz, who's got some power, a corner infielder, maybe outfielder type guy. I look at him in a lot of ways the same way I look at Rowdy Tellez, who the Rangers had last year. And then the last piece is Jeremy Cabrera, outfielder who's got the ability to play center field, but very young. I think, look, for where the Nationals are and as they restart their rebuild, this is a great haul for them. But these guys are 3-4 years away from really contributing at the big league level. For where the Rangers are, they've got a great addition for their 2026 roster. But I don't think this team is going to be determined by what Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, and MacKenzie Gore do. I think a lot is going to fall on a group of 6, mostly position players, that have to take a step forward. You know, Jake Berger, Josh Young, Josh Smith now moving into second base. They've got some young players that have to move forward.
Yeah. You mentioned Rosario. He's going to miss probably most of this year recovering from Tommy John surgery. So, Evan, we'll get you out of here on this one. What's next for the Rangers?
I think they still want to look at continuing to add to the pitching pool. Listen, the acquisition of Gore maybe pushes Jacob Latz back to the bullpen, so it can help both the rotation and the bullpen, and makes them stronger there. But I think that they would like to add, and their track record is February and March, they do a pretty good job of plumbing the values on the free agent market. Last year they went out and got Patrick Corbin in March, and all he did was pitch 170 innings.
Yeah.
So I think that the Rangers will still try and add, but it's going to come from the value market at this point in time.
Evan Grant doing a great job, as always, covering the Texas Rangers for the Dallas Morning News. Evan, we appreciate the insight. Thanks.
Take care, Robert.